Alright, YouTube, I'm back. Once again, I've been paired. More D&T action. Versus Hello World. Let's slay the Spire card. Okay. This is a good hand. I like this one. We have a Vial, Thalia, a Recruiter, a backup Vial in case something happens in the first one. So Island Preordained used to be, like, very much indicative of show and tell. But things have changed, and a lot more decks are playing Preordained these days, so it's a lot less clear than it used to be. Could be like Delvers, Miracles, Show and Tell, maybe some sort of Grixis deck. Force Pitch Brainstorm still makes all of that a little bit unclear. But more likely to be a fair deck than not. Probably Blue-Red Delver. That jerk. Let's try to remove it. ASAP. Oh, man. Opponent was like F6'd. I got to resolve both of my 1-mana spells there. That's clutch. Yeah, that young Pyromancer doesn't scare me that much. What I draw may change this, but my current plan is to just hard cast a Jitte and probably put Thalia in the following turn. And not expose Thalia to a daze. Now my plans have probably changed. Because drawing a land means that if my opponent doesn't wasteland me, which they might not, given that I'm about to probably resolve a Thalia, I can go like Recruiter for Stoneforge, put in Stoneforge, fetch Batterskull next turn. So I think the upside of getting this in play is pretty high. It would have to be like Force Pitch Blue card, and my opponent only has 2 cards left. So I think that all favors me pretty heavily. That's an annoyance. That's very good. Very, very good. It's very much not mana efficient to do what I've just done. But I think it gives me the best chance of taking over this game. I'm going to bolt them off red. Or sorry, we're going to port them off of red. They have a bolt now. They get to ruin me. But if they have a Chain Lightning or a Forked Bolt, I may be taking them off of that. Yeah, that's fine. So now I just fear red land plus bolt. Like, red land plus bolt means that Thalia and Mom both leave the table this turn. But otherwise, if I dodge, I'm in excellent shape. I guess you already know what you're drawing, so you can make that play. And not giving me the opportunity to trade off for the Arcanist or like ruin it off a Vial is good. This will be going up to 3 for Recruiter. Swords to Plowshares. Oh, baby. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. I expect my opponent to fetch either at my end step or upkeep, and if they fetch in my end step, I can just remove it. Okay. Great. Since they didn't shuffle, that's an indication that their hand is quite strong. I say as they double bottom with Preordain. Ah! Just got rid of that. Am I going to Recruiter for Palace Jailer to get rid of it? I can go Recruiter for Palace Jailer, remove the Arcanist from the table. I'll have 4 bodies to their 4 bodies. It's a little loosey-goosey. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get Sanctum Prelate instead. I think that hoses them to a similar degree. And now I just drag down this game a lot. And my opponent just concedes. Alright, so against Blue-Red Delver, again, I like Paths, I like Council's Judgments, and Rest in Peace is probably good enough. This is how much I value Arcanist being an absolute jerkwad. So probably go Revoker out, Jailer out, probably get rid of my Recruiters. And pretty much all my other flex slots are good. Sanctum Prelate is, like, sometimes very, very, very powerful in the matchup, and sometimes will make your one-drop removal spells really awkward. I think I'm going to keep it in. This does mean that the last cut is tricky, though. Or I just bring in, like, 1 Rest in Peace instead, since drawing it in multiples is so bad. I could also just, like, trim 1 Wisp. Still have 4 flyers to trade with the Delver. That's probably fine. We have a good but not fantastic opener. Like, we have a removal spell for an Arcanist, we have a Thalia as a speed bump in the way, and we have a couple of basics so we can't get wastelanded in the early game. Now I quite like this hand. It seems really weird that, like, Rest in Peace is a card that would get me excited in a blue-red Delver matchup, but it is. I think I lead on Thalia, despite the fact that it's going to make every card in the rest of my hand more expensive. I expect it to get, like, Days bolted somethinged over the next turn cycle or so. So it probably won't end up taxing my own spells. Yeah, there we go. So, like, now we have turn 3 Council Judgment for the Delver, turn 4 Rip and Jitte, or I can choose to play something around Days. What do you do with the Ponder? No shuffle with the Ponder. Okay, that's fine. So I think I'm going to be playing... Ooh. Am I willing to let them Ponder? If I'm willing to let them Ponder, I just Council Judgment the Delver this turn, let them Ponder, then go Rip and Stoneforge next turn. I can get got by a Daze for doing so. My turns play out so much better if I ignore Daze. So the reason why I'm willing to do this is because this is an anemic clock on its own. This should be viewed as a source of card advantage rather than a pure threat. I really didn't want my opponent to have a follow-up threat there, but, you know, kind of it is what it is. So now they have to brainstorm, and then they'll ponder to shuffle away the cards that they didn't want from the brainstorm. All in all, quite a strong turn. So Rest in Peace needs to come down first. I need to stop this card. Alright. Now we'll play Stoneforge in an attempt to stem the bleeding. Yeah, that's fine. It's not good for me, but it's fine. As long as my opponent doesn't play, like, another threat this turn, I think I'll be taking this game. But if they play something like a True Name Nemesis here, I just can't race it. Yikes. So now I can Flicker Wisp, kill a token, If this flips, my opponent has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage as of right now coming in. I don't think I can afford to play around a Daze or a Pierce or anything like that. I think I need to play this so that next turn I leave myself with the option of like equip and then play a 3-drop. Even through Wasteland. Alright, opponent did not have an end of turn bolt. That is good. Delver flipping to Brainstorm is bad. Brainstorm finding removal spell would be pretty devastating. Potentially lethal. It's gotta be shove everything. Oh. Very happy with that. Less happy with that. So I can equip attack in, Insectile Aberration blocks. I kill Young Pyromancer. I kill a token. My opponent's left with 4 power. Life isn't grand. And I do think I have to attack and make the trade. Because if I sit back, they can just make the same attack, but with 2 more tokens this turn. If you had that Lightning Bolt, why didn't you just Lightning Bolt my creature and then crash in for 5 more damage? It's a little frustrating, but okay. Don't know what they were trying to play around by doing that. This is a fine hand. Like, I have a removal spell for a dude. I have a Rest in Peace for like, all the copies of Arcanist. I have a Jisei to go and gain me the life that I need to, like, stabilize in the matchup if I end up taking early damage. I think I am going to play around Daze this game. I let them untap. I can get Pierced, which I can play around right now. I'll give them an extra mana source for their turn. Path is a little more awkward than it used to be. Now the Delver decks actually have basics. So I'm hoping that my opponent just plays Dreadhorde Arcanist, and then I get to like slam Rest in Peace in the face of it and have it resolve. I don't like this timeline. I don't like this timeline at all. Not 100% sure that that's actually worth forcing. I kind of think it might be better to just like force the creatures and try to remove the creatures that it's getting attached to, but I don't know the rest of their hand, so it's hard for me to say for sure. We're just going the wrong side of the deck here. We have the side of the deck that bullies Arcanist when they have Delver True Name, and I need a threat. My opponent's low on resources, so like if I get to the point where I get something cool, flip to a Braid. Rude. That makes me feel like my statement that they should have just let the Jote resolve was correct. What are you doing? Vile does literally nothing this game. I think my opponent's playing very poorly and is not getting punished for it. Which is frustrating. All right, that's how we lose this one. Wah 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 wah. Streak broken.